All right, you're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and the volume is starting to dry up on this Thanksgiving holiday week. It'll be open tomorrow, the index as well. I expect even lighter volume tomorrow, and then Thursday it's closed, and Friday open for a half a session. I believe it closes at 1 o'clock Eastern time on Friday, so it'll be Black Friday, and I'm sure it'll be light trading. Anyway, there was still some action in the Nasdaq. This is what you want to see on a pullback, just an inside day here, holding its gains from last week. Let me zoom in a little bit there. There you can see the tight trading. The low for today was 146. The low yesterday was 134. So, holding those, it's higher lows. I don't expect much the rest of this week. Usually there's a long bias on this holiday week. We'll see what happens going forward. But I am looking for the NASDAQ to take this 14,446 level out from July 19th. So that would be the next area of interest for me. And we'll just give it some time. Let it absorb some of these gains, digest, consolidate, whatever you want to call it. It's had a big run, so let it go sideways for a little bit. That's fine. That's a healthy action. In the NASDAQ, I'm not going to look at the Russell today. I'm just going to move on to the Magnificent Seven or whatever you want to call them. Apple, just like the index, just kind of trading, flat, quiet day today. For Apple, still consolidating in this base, still looks good. Nothing wrong with Apple. Microsoft's had a lot of noise around it lately, which, as a shareholder, I don't really appreciate. I would like quiet trading, but it's doing nothing wrong. Yesterday it had a big move, and today gave back somewhat 1%. Another inside day, just kind of like the index, just quiet trading today. I guess it was above average daily volume, or 10% above average daily volume, but still just a tight trading range. That looks good too, this symmetrical cup shape pattern. Like to see a little bit more of a shakeout here, but we'll see. You don't always get what you want. We get what we need. Meta is another one that I really like, and once again, just tight trading, low volume. Just going sideways. Look at that inside day, tight range today. My goodness. For a $330 stock, would it have a $4 range today? Exactly. High and the low is $4, $339.90 to $335.90. So that's very tight trading. That's usually healthy, as you can see the moving averages are stacked, trending higher, consolidating, tight trading, inside day. That looks very bullish to me. Amazon had some news that Jeff Bezos sold some stock. He's got to put gas in the yacht. He's got a high maintenance lifestyle that he's got to live. This is normal behavior. Executives are going to sell stock. That's just the way it goes. No reason to get excited, as Jimi Hendrix once sang, or Bob Dylan once wrote and sang. Bezos is going to sell stock. Get used to it. It traded down to its 10, found support, and then bounced. There you see higher. The 10 was 142.97, close at 143.90. So, a buck bounce off the 10, not bad for Amazon. Google, this one's looking better to me. Just consolidating within this base here. Google looks, I was a little concerned because it took so long for it to rally through the 50, but now that it's rallied through the 50, it's just grinding higher. Higher highs, higher lows there for Google. That one looks pretty good as well. One more Magnificent Seven. Tesla got above its 50 today. So that's a monumental day for Tesla. And this double bottom base is starting to look a lot better. I like it above the 50 there. That's a nice consolidation pattern for Tesla as well. And I'm going to move on. I will do some of the semis here. I'll do NVDA last. But anyway, SMCI setting up in a double bottom base looks a little bit like Tesla. This is way above the 50 though. A lot healthier than Tesla. It's up a little bit after hours, I think, on that NVDA report, which was really strong. If you look at the weekly chart, some people want to say this is a high tight flag pattern. I don't really, it's sold off a lot. That's all I'll say. That is a, tight, flaggish pattern, but just consolidating within a base. But SMCI looks good. You can see the big volume, the interest. Just this year, 2023, this has been a very popular stock. It still only has a market cap of 15 billion, and I believe it still trades in the Russell. It might have made it to the mid cap index. I'm not sure, but it had a rapid rise and gained a lot of market share in a quick time. But SMCI looks good. AVGO, Broadcom acquired VMware today and sold off a little bit on that news, not much, just a quiet inside day. It did have a lot of volume because of the acquisition of VMware, but this still looks good to me, even though it's pushing away from its base a little bit. RMBS is another one that I like. It's going to be on our ready list. It pulled back today, which I like. I wish it would pull back to its 10 here in the next few sessions. But if you take a look at the weekly, you could see this nice consolidation pattern. It's up more than 1% this week. I'd like to see it pull back a little bit, so I can get in. Doesn't it know I want to buy it? No, I don't think it does. Anyway, that's enough for the semis. I want to get to the retail because there's a lot of retail stocks reporting today. I like retail. I thought most of the earnings were, better than expected. That there's no signs that there's consumers just going to slam on the brakes. Lowe's was a little cautious. It was down 3%. I don't know. I think Home Depot is probably, a little more better barometer here. But it was down in sympathy with the news from Lowe's. So I don't know. Nothing great, but nothing, too sinister in the reports there. AEO, now they were a little cautious also, and you could see this one was down nearly 16%, fell below its 50 simple moving average, which I do not like, but you got to give it some time here to rally through. We've seen a lot of this action here where stocks fall below the 50 and then rally back through quickly. So I'm going to keep my eye on American Eagle Outfitters. Abercrombie and Fitch had a better report than American Eagle, but this thing traded down to its 21 and then popped nicely back above 74. If I take a look at a 5-minute chart today, you can see the action. The news came in. Just sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. This thing usually gaps higher. Today it gapped lower, but you could see once it traded down below 66, buyers came in all day long. Just buyers came in, drove this thing back above 74, near 75. So that's a nice close for Abercrombie and Fitch. That was a 5-minute chart that we were looking at. Big volume today. That's an impressive move. Support at the 21, which has been an area where you think maybe the machines are programmed here, kind of buy this stock here. It gets support at the 21 often. Let me see, what's the other one? Oh, Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's had a good report, and it's this is not what you want to see. I pointed this out before. It looked really promising. It was up more than 10%, and then just sold off all day long. Close with a inverted hammer, which you do not want to see. 15% of its daily range. Let's take a look at the 5-minute here. There you can see the gap higher and just sold off all day long. So that's not what you want to see in a gap higher. So Dick's strong report. I mean, all the company can do is deliver the numbers. It's up to the investors to buy the stock. You could say that it got rejected at the 200 here, but we'll see. We'll give it some time. Earnings reactions are, a crapshoot. It's like a flip of the coin. They go one way one day, and a couple days later they reverse. So here's a HIBB. It did the same thing Dick's did. Very strong report with these, leisure products, really sportswear stocks. HIBB, Gap Tire at the open just sold off all day long, just like Dick's Sporting Goods, and it closed 5% of its daily range, so even worse than Dick's there. And then Chipotle Mexican Grill, no earnings report there, but just made an all-time high. This one looks great. 2207 closed slightly below 2200. This one looks good to me. You can see this consolidation period here, and just starting to push away from its base a little bit. Close enough though to be actionable. I believe around that $2,200 level. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get to some software. Software and semiconductors are, where it's at, where it should be at during the, if there's going to be a generative AI themed, uptrend. Adobe should be, one of the leaders. Today, it just pulled back slightly, ever so slightly, 0.28% in super light volume. You can see the volume drying up here. But I do believe Adobe 615 made an all-time high as well, huh? So good for Adobe. Oh, not an all-time high. Sorry about that. It made a 52-week high though. Definitely recovering from the bear market. Adobe looks good. Another software name that I know made a new 52-week high was BRZE, and this is one of the recent IPOs that I featured recently, and I believe this one has, the ability to move higher. This is a stage 2 base that is trying to emerge out of. It's been on our ready list, and this one still looks good and actionable, but it is pushing away from its base here. BRZE looks good. FICO, this one's ridiculous. Computer software financial, what's your credit score? FICO. Yeah, nothing to say here. I mean, this is a momentum stock, just run away, new highs every day, higher highs, higher lows, definition of an uptrend. Congrats to the longs. Man, that thing just went through 100 like, 1,000 like, through a goose. So congrats to the longs there. Fair Isaac, FICO. Palantir had a weird day today. It's been really strong. You can see this symmetrical, cup-shaped pattern. And that's what you want to see here, a pullback, within the base. Shake out all those weak hands. Shake out the people that don't have conviction, don't know about Palantir, don't want to be in the stock. The wishy-washy, non-convicted holders, the institutions will take your shares and buy it up later. It was down 7% today. Wow, big move. But it did come down to the 10, which is what you want to see. And what you really want to see is have it supported and trade higher. That's some people call that a bearish engulfing candle, but we'll see. To me, it just pulled back to the 10, and we'll see what happens with Palantir. I'm a little surprised to see it down after hours after those numbers from NVDA, but anyway, I'll get to that later. Another one that I want to look at is ServiceNow. This one is a momentum play, just like FICO, new highs, it seems like every day, but this one busted out of that base there at 614 and is not looking back. So congrats to the longs there with ServiceNow. Okay, I'm going to switch gears here and get out of software, semiconductors, technology, and go to the HVAC. This is Lennox. Lennox is high-end, air conditioning, heating, refrigeration, HVAC stock. Made a high today, 413.79. Still actionable, but it's pushing away from that base there. That looks good. Modine Manufacturing. We've been talking about this one a lot. It consolidated and whoop, below the 50, and whoop, rallied back through it. It's still actionable there at the 51.76, I believe, but it's pushing away from the base. So you better be quick. Mr. Fix-It, Comfort Systems. This one looks good as well. 192 is intriguing. You can see the cup with handle, the breakout, now the pullback to the 10 could be a second chance opportunity. Maybe, maybe not. I like the looks of Comfort Systems, and of course Trane, which is a high-end, climate control, HVAC type of stock as well. And this one, gapped higher and now it's pulled back. This is like a bullish wedge type of action. Like to see it pull back to the 10, but Trane looks really strong as well. And I've got to mention the the cybersecurity stocks. This is Palo Alto Networks, reported earnings and just sold off. It's just sell the news. It was a really strong report. I guess they had to find some reason to sell it. It was something about billings. It was down more than 5%. What happened the next 3 sessions, just straight on up. So this is what happens. People get scared, they get shaken out, then institutions come and steal your shares. They start buying it up, and now it's back to, where it was before it reported earnings. So, you'll see that a lot around earnings. Big violent moves and people get scared, shaken out, and the institutions come in and steal your shares. CrowdStrike and Zscaler, they report next week. Just a quiet day today. Nothing wrong. They've had a big move. Before earnings, it'd probably be wise to take some off the table, raise your stops. They report on the 27th, which is a week from yesterday. What is that, Monday? I'm losing track of days. Yeah, Monday after the bell. Zscaler will report, and CrowdStrike will report next Tuesday after the bell. And that was up today a little bit. Okay, just trading sideways, holding its gains above 200. I'm really impressed with how it's handled that 200 level. I thought it would get rejected, but you could see the 10, the 21, the 50 just trending higher. So hopefully this stock gets into a long power trend, with the index, and has a nice move. I showed you this one over the weekend where it was being accumulated and trading higher while the Nasdaq was correcting. So I have high hopes for CrowdStrike. Anyway, that's it for me today. Except for I lie. NVDA reported after the bell. The options market had a, I don't know, 8 or 9% implied volatility with the move with the earnings reaction, but it's a 1% move to the downside, and the conference call starts pretty soon here. So I wouldn't be surprised with the blowout numbers that NVIDIA delivered tonight if this thing didn't trade above 500 soon. Even if it trades down to 490, or the 10 EMA, which is 486 today, and it's going up like $3 a day. So it might have trouble with 500. I would expect with numbers like that, depending upon what they say during the conference call, of course. But just really strong numbers, which makes these numbers go down. The multiples, the PE, the price to sales. I believe they had nearly 20 billion in revenue, which last quarter was 13, and the quarter before was 7. So it's like 200%. You're seeing a stock with a $1.2 trillion market cap with triple-digit sales and earnings growth, which is unheard of. We've never seen this before. So, it's interesting to hear what Jensen has to say on the conference call. That'll definitely have some bearing on the stock going forward. But to me, I mean, if you own this stock and it's, going down $4 after hours, big deal. For me, which I do own it, I got rid of some before the earnings call, but I'm going to buy those back here, and I would like to see it come down to that 10. If I could get it under 490, that'd be great. If not, I'm going to buy those shares back because I want a full position. Anyway, just sold, as insurance. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanksgiving, like I said, it's closed Thursday. Tomorrow is going to be probably a light day. Friday, half a day. And so holiday trading here. Happy Thanksgiving. I will report back tomorrow morning, but not tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up.